You remember those childhood mix and match jokes? You know, the ones asking, what do you get when you cross something with something else? Well, here's a few classics. What do you get when you cross a cow with a detective? A stakeout. What do you get when you cross a caterpillar and a parrot? A walkie-talkie. Okay, I promise, this will be the last one. What do you get when you cross a cow and a duck? Cheese and crackers. Now, you might be wondering where I'm going with this, but there's a pattern here. The act was a response to a relationship. What was created couldn't have been accomplished without the other, and the result is now reflective of the parts involved. What was once invisible is now visible. A couple of years ago, I had friends who lived in Connecticut, right on the Long Island Sound. From their deck, you could see marshes that were filled with wildlife. One time I was standing there with someone who said to me, "Once I saw a bird here that was obviously not from this area." He paused for a moment and said, "I really don't have to see where the bird came from to know that place existed." So something you couldn't see was made visible by its relationship to what you could see. And again, this couldn't have been accomplished without the other. This is reminiscent of being in the world, but not of it. Or as Jesus said to his apostles, "You are no longer as men among men, but as the enlightened citizens of another and heavenly country." So to follow my friend's thinking, if you looked upon any one of them, you wouldn't have to see the heavenly country to know that it existed. So essentially, you really don't have to prove that something exists once you become a reflection of that reality. A belief was created in part by what you could and couldn't see, but the belief didn't make the invisible visible. It was the qualitative experience between the two that did. Love doesn't require a belief. Love only becomes visible in the act and experience of loving another. God doesn't require a belief. The visibility of God is totally dependent on your ability to reflect the reality of His presence, to love like He does, to be Godlike. So who would you like to cross yourself with? What reality do you want to be reflective of? What do you want others to see in you? Well, it all simply starts with a relationship. What you're creating in partnership can't be accomplished without the other. The result will be a reflection of the parts involved. When Philip said to Jesus, "Show us the Father," Jesus could truly say, "When you've seen me, you've seen the Father." Well, imagine if someone looked at you and saw the same thing. It's possible. When others begin to see a reality in you that was once invisible, they'll begin asking themselves, what's going on around me that I'm not taking full advantage of? And that's the gift that keeps on giving. You know, one could easily argue the existence of God, but they can't deny what's beginning to unfold as a result of that relationship. When you give God all that you have, God makes you more than you are. The religious challenge of this age is to those far-seeing and forward-looking men and women of spiritual insight who will dare to construct a new and appealing philosophy of living out of the enlarged and exquisitely integrated modern concepts of cosmic truth, universe beauty, and divine goodness. Such a new and righteous vision of morality will attract all that is good in the mind of man and challenge that which is best in the human soul.